What's up everyone, it's Scotty with Money Vesting. So welcome on board for another market open live stream. Here we have the market slightly green here so far. The Nasdaq is up over 13 basis points. We have the S&P 500 ETF up over 11 basis points and the Dow Jones pushing up over 15 basis points as well. Pre-market with the VIX just under 16 levels. We are slightly down about 31 basis points. Bitcoin is seeing a bit of a pullback here under 59,000, roughly under $60,000 right now. And Ethereum also coming down just a little bit over $4,000 right now, just testing that higher low once again. And Bitcoin also just over that support of $58,000, $59,000. So, all right, I was just watching your last video. Perfect. Yeah, I did put out 2 videos on Enphase and AMD. I will be going over Google, Microsoft, Facebook. I've been kind of doing some analysis on them as well, so I will be putting out a lot of those videos over the weekend because I do have a lot of earnings calls to catch up to. I've just been listening in on a lot of earnings calls, and then of course we've got Apple and Amazon also reporting there this week. Mark, white chart. Had white charts for so long. We've had this volatility VIX chart for like ages, for like more than like a year. You're seeing that now. Good morning, Dave. Welcome on board from Virginia. Let's just quickly break down some of the analyst upgrades and downgrades, right? So Mizuho reiterates Robinhood as a buy. So all the results were lackluster. By the way, Robinhood down about almost 7-8%. Big miss on revenue. I was expecting at least north of $400 million. User growth was still decent, 76%. But this right here, Robinhood definitely seeing a bit of a decline in revenue. It's still growth year over year, but coming in very short of expectations as well. So again, getting a Robinhood buy target here from Mizuho Financials. William Blair reiterates General Electric as outperform. Morgan Stanley reiterates Microsoft as overweight, and Morgan Stanley raised its price target on Microsoft to $364 from $331. Said the company's earnings report on Tuesday were impressive, sustaining a 22% revenue growth at $180 billion run rate, provides a compelling evidence of a solid secular positioning across the portfolio. So that was one of the things, right? So 22%, I was not expecting. We had our target at 13% year-over-year growth, and they almost doubled it. So that's a very strong growth for Microsoft year over year. EPS also coming in strong. I mean, never really had a doubt that Microsoft was going to miss revenue EPS expectations. Barclays reiterates Alphabet as overweight and puts a price target on 3,300, raising it from 3,200 after the earnings report on Tuesday. So Google also reported some very, very strong numbers. Is the live stream lagging? It's lagging somewhat. Yes, lagging. I don't know. We've got everything set up here. Should not be lagging at all. Everything powered in. We've got the Wi-Fi running, so there should not be any issues. But yeah, let me know if there's any lag. Hopefully we can clear that up. Okay, so BTIG initiates coverage on Roblox as a buy. BTIG initiates coverage of Zynga as a buy as well. Sees it as a very compelling risk reward for game developer Zynga. Loop downgrades UPS to hold from a buy. JP Morgan reiterates Twitter as overweight, puts a price target on $86 per share. From $90, so they did lower their target, but continue to kind of reiterate that's overweight rating for the company. Morgan Stanley reiterates Tesla as overweight. Essentially says that Tesla's $1 trillion milestone reflects a significant valuation premium when Apple and Amazon achieved that same cap. And at $1 trillion, Tesla trades at roughly 88 times our forward fiscal year 2022 EBITDA estimate, assuming a $1,000 price target for the company. So, I mean, that's one of the things that I'm like, really putting, this is all numbers, right? These are stats. And when stocks start going higher, you'll notice how they're reiterating their overweight target while saying that it's going to be trading at 88 times their forward EBITDA estimate, which is incredibly rich. But this is the market that we're in, where we're okay kind of justifying these numbers, right? Regardless of what your bullish thesis is on the company, but just based on math, these numbers are obviously very rich for a lot of these companies. Goldman Sachs also raising their price target on Tesla to $11.25 from $905. So that is also another upgrade on Tesla here. Then we got Jefferies downgrades Cloudflare to hold from buy. Of course, Cloudflare, ticker symbol NET, has seen a significant rally here recently. So they did downgrade Cloudflare to hold as it achieved their price target raised to $195 with strong long-term fundamentals reflected in valuation, and we wait for more attractive re-entry point as it is still one of the most disruptive names we cover. Morgan Stanley reiterates Apple as overweight. UBS reiterates Apple as a buy. So a couple Apple upgrades and buy targets as well for the company. So, all right, let's take a look at Lockheed Martin. Let's see how that stock is doing. So yesterday was a brutal day, down about 11.8%. Significant drawdown here because of supply chain issues, and of course, breaking down all the way to lows of 332. So, I'm watching $320 as the next support level for the company. Lockheed Martin remains one of the most stable defensive stocks to own in my opinion. But of course, dividend yield is roughly at 3%. This stock also, in my opinion, is taking a bit of a pressure here from the supply chain issues. And of course, with the revenue guidance kind of lowered, that was the big reason behind this 12% drop, right? So forecast and future guidance are going to be some very, very important things to keep in mind because that is really important for a lot of these companies. So we already went through AMD, strong numbers, 54% growth year over year. Lisa Su doing what she does best, and they forecast fiscal year 2021 growth of 65%. I mean, that is just incredible. And margins also going up to 48, 49% for the company. So strong margin expansion, strong revenue growth, share buybacks continuing. I think they purchased roughly 7 million shares in the third quarter, roughly worth about $750 million. So on a very, very strong balance sheet as well, right? So all in all, AMD is just going to be a continue to hold for me. Microsoft, we already covered. Google, we already covered. Strong numbers there. Visa, I've actually not taken a look at Visa. I need to take a look at Visa and what they actually reported. Twitter was decent, I would say. Not the best, not the worst either. They did see a little bit slight privacy changes issues there, but overall, reasonable numbers from Twitter, and of course they got an upgrade to $86 per share as well from one of the analysts. And we got Enphase Energy with a very, very strong numbers coming in, 100% growth year over year in the top line revenues. Deliveries for the units to 2.6 million also grew from, I believe, 1.4 million units, right? Same time last year. So that was also a roughly 85-90% growth. Margins did decline a little bit for the company because of the supply chain issues. And of course, that was one of the reasons why supply chain issues, and of course that was one of the reasons why the revenue, average revenue per microinverter that they were selling was also lower because the cost is going up, right? That's why the margins were coming down, and they're also raising prices moving forward in Q4 and going into 2022 as well. But the stock is up over ridiculous amount, 16-17% last time I checked, and of course Robinhood is down on very, very soft revenue numbers for the company as well. So Enphase, I did a video. Make sure that you check out that video. But of course, I will now up over 19%. Wow, breaking out to over $206 per share. So very, very strong numbers from Enphase. And next level we're watching is going to be $220 per share for the company. So when does Spotify report? So Spotify reports actually today pre-market. Let's take a quick look. It's up another 6% here. So very strong numbers, I'm assuming, from Spotify. So there we go. So Spotify Q3 loss narrows, revenue rises, company revises Q4 revenue outlook. So on Wednesday reported net loss of 41 cents, 41 euros, 0.41 euros or 48 cents per share in Q3, narrower than last year's 58 euros, 0.58 euros per share. And analysts were expecting a net loss of 0.14 euros per share. Revenue increased to $2.9 billion from about 1.98 billion euros same time last year, so that's a strong number there. Consensus estimate was 2.44 billion. Swedish-based streaming service said it maintains the guidance for 400 million to 407 million monthly active users and 177 to 181 million premium subscribers in Q4. It revised its revenue projection to 2.68 billion euros from 2.48 to 2.68 billion euros previously. So their lower end of the guidance is actually moving up, and their higher end of the guidance is remaining sort of constant. So I would say strong revenue guidance for the company, strong user growth as well, with revenue and EPS coming actually better than expectation, and the stock is up over 6-7%. So strong numbers there from Spotify. 264, 265, kind of aligned with that 300 simple moving average, roughly around that level is going to be that next resistance level. So it's going to be interesting for us to see whether we see any type of profit taking for Spotify, or if it can continue to kind of break out to the upside and hit our next target, which is going to be sitting roughly inside this red rectangle. Anything sitting between $290 to as high as $300 per share for the company moving forward. Let's take a look at Boeing. So Boeing also reported we're up a little bit over 1.85%. So just a small adjustment on this support. It's going to be sitting roughly at $206, $207 per share. Let's take a quick look on Boeing. So, all right, Boeing posts second straight quarterly profit on 737 MAX boost. All right, this right here is going to be better. So reported Wednesday Q3 adjusted loss of 60 cents per share compared with a loss of $1.39 same time last year. So very strong numbers, so better than expected. Actually, not better than expected. Analyst polled Capital IQ expected a loss of 14 cents per share for the company, and we came in at 60 cents. And the company said revenue was 15.28 billion in Q3 compared with 14 billion same time last year, and analysts were expecting 16.27 billion dollars for the company as well. So that is neither here nor there. Revenue and EPS miss from the company just based on the analyst expectations. But Boeing expects to continue 787 production rate at current rate until deliveries resume and the return to 5 per month over time. All right, low 787 production rates, rework expected to result in approximately $1 billion in abnormal costs. And commercial airplanes delivered 85 airplanes during the quarter, and backlog included 4,100 airplanes valued at $290 billion. And free cash flow for the company is negative $507 million versus negative $5 billion same time last year. So overall, I would say it's an improvement from same time last year, but of course, we're nowhere near close to where we were a couple of years ago before the pandemic happened, right? So this is a complete lapse of the pandemic, and the results are getting better. But that being said, $206, $207 is going to be that next support level to watch. Of course, resistance is going to stay put at 235. As I've mentioned before for Boeing, I do think that it's trading at a very fair valuation relative to where the demand is, for the aircrafts the Boeing produces, right? So right now, the demand is still a long ways away from going back to where it was before the pandemic happened. And in my opinion, we're probably not going to see complete recovery of travel demand, but maybe it gets back up to 75-80% to what it was before the pandemic happened, right? So based on that, I do think that Boeing has the potential to get it back to like $250, $275 per share, but this is more of a fair valuation for the company right now, just based on where we are trading. A lot of sideways consolidation here, and overall, it's just been this sort of descending triangle forming for the company as well. So some resistance levels to keep in mind at 235 all the way as 260 for the company. All right, so let's see. So Mohammed, alerts tab not showing in my Discord. Could you please help? Yes. So what I would recommend that you do is just simply go over to Patreon and reconnect your Discord with Patreon, right? Once you've got that connected, Patreon bot will automatically give you access to all the private channels, all the 7 private channels, including the alerts tab as well. So you may have that link between Discord and Patreon kind of off. So make sure that you watch that step-by-step guide. I've got a whole post about it. So once you kind of reconnect that, and it should be all set. But if not, just reach out to me on Discord, private messages, and I will definitely make sure to get that result for you. All right, so how Amazon will react to the earnings, and we got, but bull unit, what is it? Bull until fighting the gap above, or bear down until 31.36. So Amazon, as you guys already know, that I remain bullish on the company, right? It's just been struggling, just been sideways trading, consolidating sideways. We do already know where that EPS is going to land, right? EPS, we're expecting a little bit of a decline here year over year because of the COVID-related costs. So that's that. And revenues, we're expecting $111 billion for the company, which is going to still be a very, very strong growth. I think, the last time I checked, which was in our Discord, let me see if I can pull that up. Or at least tell you guys what that number is going to be. So for Amazon, let's take a quick look. We are looking at revenues at roughly about $111.6 billion, and that's going to be a 16% growth for the company. And when a company is doing $111 billion, those are like big numbers. Those are like really, really big numbers. And if they're still able to do 16% while getting that logistical networks down, while getting Amazon Pharmacy, Amazon Whole Foods, all these other businesses, all the vertical integrations with Prime members, this is just a really big business. So I remain bullish, just based on the earnings. Like I said, we already know what to expect. Last time we saw a huge gap down, 7.5%, 8%. If it does see a very similar move to the downside, $3,300, $3,000, $3,100, I will be a buyer of the stock. Just considering everything I like everything that I see, but 3,400 is going to be that near-term resistance that we just continue to kind of, get rejected at, right? We're just struggling to actually break out over that $3,400 level. Any entry points for AMD or too high to look at right now? AMD, unfortunately, right now is a little bit too rich to look at. Right now, we're already down close to 90 basis points. So it's now starting to come back down. I mean, this was a massive inverted hammer candle, right? Just take a look at this candle. So much selling pressure came in yesterday. And this is just a clean example of how we were much higher, 127, 126, right? That was an all-time high. and the sellers came in to bring us back down to 122, 123. So, when these inverted hammer candles form, they're usually a sign of a trend reversal, which is why I'm a little bit cautious here, just given where the RSI is, given where the MACD is. So this, in my opinion, is not the best risk-reward trade-off for AMD right now. So I would be watching close to like 110, 111. These right here are going to be some levels to watch next for a potential add to the position, all the way down to $99 to $100 per share. In my opinion, for AMD is also going to be very strong. So we're finding a new support, we're finding a new base for advanced micro devices, which is going to be roughly 110 to down to $100 per share. The management remains very strong, and the company is just absolutely no mercy when it comes to like taking market share away from Intel and just growing their data server business, right? I mean, just strong EPYC growth and some of the other computing and chip processors for the company, which are growing at double digits as well. So everything, I mean, quarter over quarter, year over year, we saw that strong growth for the company as well. All right, let's take a look at Visa. Visa, I haven't really taken a look at. Wow, down about 3% here. So we can probably add some more shares for Visa. So let's see. So Visa registers 44% gain in fiscal fourth quarter GAAP EPS. So late Tuesday reported earnings of $1.62, up 44% year over year from $1.12. Analyst poll were EPS $1.54, so much better than expectations for the EPS. Revenue grew 29% year over year to $6.5 billion. So what were we expecting? Give me 1 second. So for Visa, we were looking forward to at $6.48 billion. So we came in at $6.56 billion. So that's much higher. And the street estimate was $6.51 billion. So we got a revenue beat, we got an EPS beat, and yet the stock is down about 3%. Thank you. So 220 is going to be that level to watch where I would personally be adding more shares. The company does trade at a rich valuation. So I would definitely, I do understand why the stock is coming down. But right now, 220 is going to be that next support level to watch. I feel like this is more of a clear potential higher highs and higher lows in the short term, but also could be seen as some type of a bear flag for the company. So prior sell-off, and right now we're just consolidating sideways. So if it does come down to $205, kind of like that target, in my opinion, is going to be a much better level to be a little bit more aggressive on Visa as well, because the company just remains very, very strong for Visa right now. All right, let's see. So Google, let's take a look. How is that stock doing? So pretty much flat here. We've seen a lot of consolidation sideways. By the way, 30 seconds left for the markets to open. Let's just quickly go over to our indices here. So we got Dow Jones, we got the S&P 500 here, and we got the NASDAQ. And we're going to quickly start here, the 4-hour, 4 split charts for the 5 minute. Right there. VIX remains down here, 0.5%, just under 16 levels. And oil is also pulling back here slightly. All right, let's take a look at Tesla here. We'll put Amazon. Actually, we'll put Apple here. We'll put AMD. And then we'll put Amazon right there. So Amazon slightly up over 44 basis points. Off we go. AMD climbing a little bit, just over 122. Tesla is up another 2% today. By the way, Tesla saw some serious selling pressure yesterday, right? So it was just a lot of momentum to the downside for Tesla after seeing like really green, 1090 level was, I believe, was the all-time high, 1094. Apple is also slightly higher. 150 is going to be that level to watch for Apple. I mean, we're just struggling to break out above that level for Apple. That is going to be our next resistance. Couple upgrades on Apple as well, so that's good. And Tesla also received a couple upgrades from a couple different analysts on Wall Street. And of course, AMD is just coming off of an incredible earnings as well. So, all right. So Christian, yes, I will be adding more to my Facebook stock very, very soon. So 305. So $305 is what I'm watching for the company next. 304, kind of aligned with that 300 simple moving average. $304 roughly is going to be that level to watch next, where I would personally be adding more shares for the company. Let's take a look at Enphase. Yes, Enphase. Here we are, up over 21%. $220 is actually going to be that next resistance level to watch for the company. So very, very strong move for Enphase Energy on the day. Just a lot of momentum here, up over 23%. Just incredible move for the stock. Yeah, Enphase is just killing it, absolutely killing it today. So 220 is going to be that next target, but of course the all-time high sits at well over 229. The market cap is roughly at $27 billion for the company right now. Just given where the prices are. and we're trading at just over 15 times sales. 15 times sales right now for the company. And this is based on a forecasted $1.36 billion in revenue for fiscal year 2021. They just gave us a guidance for $390 to $410 million in Q4, and we're just coming off of a strong quarter, $351 million in revenue as well. That number should go up because and of course the margins should go up as well, because it's insane how much the logistics costs have gone up, right? Freight, what cost them $2,000 last year, is now costing them $16,000, 8 times more, because of supply chain issues and of course a shortage that we're seeing. So that's why it's hurting their gross margins right now. As a result, their bottom line is also getting affected, but this is more of a temporary issue in my opinion. Eventually when that gets resolved, the EPS will be a lot higher. As a result, the price to earnings won't be as ridiculous as what we're seeing right now for the company. But 220 is going to be that next level to watch. AMD turning positive. Look at that, 1.25% on the day. What do you guys think? Is AMD going to hit a new all-time high on the day today? Nvidia also turning almost green on the day. And we've got Tesla still up over 2.3%. All right, let's take a quick stroll down our watch list, down our main watch list. So Robinhood down still. All right, let's just put Robinhood here. Down over 9.4%, so strong move to the downside here for Robinhood. Even though the user growth was strong, the revenue not quite. Mara, take a look at Mara here. Aggressive pullback here after hitting a double top at $54, $55, and this is straight up as a result of Bitcoin, down about 2.3%. So Bitcoin coming down, Ethereum coming down, and I'm not surprised that Mara is down 7%. Coinbase should be down as well. And here we are down about 3.5% for Coinbase. So Visa, Visa is down 4.7%, down to 220. So $220, we're there. We're literally there. So probably after this live stream, I'll be picking up some Visa stock as well. But let's see what other stocks are moving. So Coinbase we covered. Upstart coming back to earth now. Slowly and steadily, Upstart is coming back from $401. We're down over 22%. And I think we've already broken our 21 EMA. So this right here was that 21 EMA that it was validating a couple times. And then we saw that breakdown. Of course, we're way past our 9 exponential moving average as well. We were validating that level a couple times in the past. And in my opinion, we're probably headed down to 292. That's going to be that next level to watch for Upstart, because this stock just remains very, very overvalued right now. I just keep thinking about that CNBC interview, person who bought Upstart at almost an all-time high. That was just a really, really funny piece on CNBC. But Coinbase, Upstart, Astrospace just over $9 a share here. QuantumScape down about 3.7%. Foot Locker just over $47. So let's see. Micron, Crocs is pulling back. Red. Fiverr down. Alibaba's flat. Not a lot of movement there. But let's take a look at greens. What's actually green and moving? So Enphase, of course, up over 22% here. Spotify, we covered earlier. Strong revenue growth, strong user growth, 6.8%, 7%. Teradyne, take a look at Teradyne. TER, up over 4.6%. They announced earnings yesterday. Let's take a quick look. All right, so Teradyne late Tuesday posted Q3 adjusted diluted EPS of $1.59, up from $1.18 a year earlier. Analysts pulled at $1.44, so higher EPS speed here. Revenue came in at just shy of $1 billion from $819 million same time last year. The street forecast was $933. Revenue beat, EPS beat, and they are also expecting Q4 revenue of $820 to $900 million with an adjusted EPS of $1.14 to $1.40 versus street views of $839. And $1.17. So we got revenue beat, EPS beat, and forecasting that is higher than the analyst expectations. Stocks up over 5%. So very, very strong numbers there from Teradyne. Remains undervalued. This stock is undervalued in my opinion. 23 times earnings. This deserves to trade at least at 25, if not 30. And we're trading at just over 15 times, under 16 times enterprise value to EBITDA. So I've done a complete fundamental analysis on this stock as well. So highly encourage you guys to at least check it out and do some more research on this one. So AMD is now up over 2%. There we go, 126. We're almost going to be hitting a new all-time high here. With Enphase also up over 24% here. Let's take a look at Walgreens. My Walgreens down another 79 basis points. Not really doing anything, just consolidating sideways. So, we need to expect, again, this is a dividend play for me. This is a super long term. So if you don't have the patience to hold this stock for the long term, I'd encourage you to kind of look for something else, because this is going to take some time. It's going to be, 2, 3, 5 year play. And of course, I plan to hold, for decades, because my yield to cost needs to get a lot better on this stock. Right now, it's just under 4%. I plan to get it at least 10, 12, 15% in the future. So this is going to be a super long-term hold. I don't really mind the day-to-day fluctuations. I just want to continue to kind of pick up more shares. This is better for me compared with O, which just continues to rally, right? This is actually bad, right? When the stock rallies over 15, 16%, I don't want that. I want to build out a bigger position on that stock before it starts moving. So, for Walgreens coming down to $46, $47, this is good. In the short term, it gives me the opportunity to build more confidence, accumulate more shares before the takeoff, right? Oh, we started buying. I still am not even, I'm like 12% of my way into my position. And this thing just starts rallying is very frustrating for me. So Walgreens, just consolidating sideways, not really concerned about that. Amazon just under 3,400 here. Facebook 318, so slightly green, but Visa definitely selling off. So what is it? 219 now. So low for the day, $218.55 on strong numbers. For the company. So 220 would still be the level to watch. Right now we're just hovering over that level. We'll keep a close eye at that level if we are able to close out that level, or if you close down. But right now we're just getting tagged at that 300 simple moving average. That's going to be the pinkish red line at $218 per share. Let's take a look at Qualcomm. So Qualcomm is slightly down, getting rejected at that 50 exponential moving average. So you'll notice that 50 EMA perfect resistance here, right? So we're just getting rejected at that same level as we did back in the last week of September at 133, 134. And a breakout over that level is very important. The earnings are coming up in the first week of November. So it's not just this week, right? Big tech was this week, but there's a lot of companies reporting earnings later, right? Fiverr, we got Palantir, we got Qualcomm. In November also, there's a lot of companies reporting earnings. So 50 EMA close to 133, 134 is going to be that next resistance level to keep in mind for Qualcomm. So let's take a look at MasterCard. It's also down 4%. What's going on with FinTech? So MasterCard also coming down. Let's take a quick look on their earnings. I'm assuming if Visa beat earnings, MasterCard, did they report? So they actually report after. Yep. So they actually report after today's close, right? Actually tomorrow before the market opens. There it is. There's MasterCard. Right alongside Shopify and some of the other reopening plays as well. So we got Altria, we got Merck, Caterpillar, also reporting earnings, with Comcast also coming in tomorrow bright and early. So again, MasterCard, we'll see what the numbers are. But, Visa's numbers were good. But MasterCard is just kind of following along with Visa's numbers right now. So, this right here is kind of like the higher highs and higher lows in the short term, but still kind of forming a bear flag at the moment. And next support is going to be 328 to watch for MasterCard as the next support. All right, let's take a look at Pinterest. We are breaking down below 48.50, so I'll go ahead and turn this level back into a resistance. So this right here is going to be a resistance level to watch. And of course, there's been a lot of overreaction for the company for absolutely no reason, in my opinion, because this of course has been as a result of PayPal, just flirting with Pinterest for a potential acquisition and then just bailing at the last minute. And we talked about it in our Discord as well. We trimmed profits when it was highs of $65, $66. I locked in some of the gains, but I'm still holding on to the rest of my position because fundamental story is still intact for the company. It may take longer for us to get back up to that level, but in my opinion, just given where the valuation is given where the growth is for the company, and Pinterest is another one of those companies that reports in November, along with Qualcomm, Palantir, other companies. Very, very excited about those earnings and, remain bullish on the company moving forward. So yes, IBK, I will also be looking into Visa to potential buy at these levels at 220, although I will mention that the price of sales remains a little bit rich for the company. It's already getting bought up. I mean, it came down to that 300 simple moving average, and we're already starting to see the buyers kind of step in for Visa, right? So 220 is still acting as a support level, and it feels like we're just seeing some buyers step in for the stock. Here we go. AMD just hit a new all-time high. Again, congratulations to all AMD holders. We are up to 127.34. and just a nice breakout over $127 per share, up over 3.6% for the stock. So very nice move to the upside for Advanced Micro Devices. All right, let's see other stocks here. Tesla pulling back, giving up a little bit of the gains here, still up over 1.5%. And Robinhood down over 11% now. So some of the big movers on the day are going to be Robinhood, Twitter, Visa, of course, Mara is down. AMD just hit 128. Wow. Advanced Micro Devices just continues to rally here. Is Nvidia following? Nvidia is indeed following, up to 250 almost, 90 basis points. Nvidia also reports later in November. Some of the companies, they do report later, right? Some of their fiscal years are just kind of different than the regular big tech companies. So let's take a look at Take-Two Interactive. Let's see how that stock is doing. So we are flat for Take-Two Interactive. Southwest is flat, just hovering over 47.50. That is a support. Shopify reports earnings tomorrow. Yesterday was a big drop for Shopify, down about 4.3%. So congrats on AMD holders, and I know Caddy is one of favorite players. Yes, it was. It still is. Upstart. What? Back over 1.2%. I think it was down like what, 4% or something at one point. Yeah, it was down over 4.8% before kind of rallying back higher. NEO's up over 1%, so that's good. Just hovering under $41. High for the day, 41.28. This right here is going to be a resistance at 41.34 for the stock as well. Tattooed Chef is up. Google with a nice move, 1.67%. So that's good. And Tesla back over 2% on the day. SoFi just under $21. SoFi's got a resistance at 21, right? You'll notice that we're just struggling. We're just struggling to break out over that level. It's $21 strong resistance here. ChargePoint, I remember seeing that alert. So we're finally getting that breakout. So, congratulations to everyone for ChargePoint. This right here, we're kind of like the lower highs and lower lows. And we finally saw a nice breakout over that 50 EMA, over that resistance as well. So $21 is now going to turn into a support level for the company, and that next target and resistance, there's going to be a couple of them. The near-term target and resistance is going to be 23.85. So that's going to be the first one, because you'll notice that we have gone rejected at that level here. So if I mark that out, that's going to be this one. And then all the way as $26, $27 per share for ChargePoint. I wouldn't say it's overbought yet. We still have some more room to the upside, but you'll notice how the RSI, once it gets up to 70, we still have like about 3-4 points left. It's going to get intact with that 23.85 level. So at that point, I would be a little bit more cautious, because price hitting resistance, RSI overbought, MACD overbought. So wouldn't be surprised to see a bit of a pullback before seeing that next leg up higher and then break out over to $25, $26 per share. Amazon showing life. Here we go, up almost 1%, back over 3,400, but I wouldn't trust this until after it closes above 3,400. Yesterday was a big fake out for Amazon, right? We got up to 34.16 and then backdrop down to 33.43. So unless after we close above 3,400, I wouldn't be too confident about this move. Enphase is up 25%, almost 25%, $215. And of course, look at Tesla go, 1,052, up over 3.4%. And Amazon also showing some gains here, showing what it's got. Jeff Bezos doesn't want to be second to Elon Musk. He's like way too far now. So Shopify, so review NEO, we already went over NEO. Spotify, we also went over in quite detail. But we can take a look at Shopify here. So Shopify earnings, I also have that on the calendar in our Discord. So Shopify, we're expecting roughly revenues of $1.15 billion. That's going to be roughly a 50% growth year over year for the company. And then we've also got EPS of roughly about $1.28. That's going to be a 13% growth for the company. So $1.15 billion in revenue, top line, and bottom line about $1.20 is what I think mentioned. That's going to be 13% growth for the company as well. So support level is going to stay put at 1,300. This also, trades at a pretty rich valuation, but 14.35, 14.37 is going to be that next resistance level to keep in mind. All right, let's take a look at TrueLeaf. So truly, we are flat. This right here is kind of like a bear flag for the company. So, expecting at least a retest of 23.75. This right here is going to be that next level to watch for the company right there. So, at that point, I actually still have to do a video on this company, but I will be buying more shares of Trulieve at those levels, 23.75. Let's take a look at our AMC. How's AMC doing? Flat, 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 flat. This right here is going to be a support level to watch for this sort of like consolidation pattern right now, just trading sideways. $40 resistance right here, and support level near term $35 all the way as low as $29 for the company right now. So Snapchat continues to slide here down about 1.6%. Next support I'm watching, the one that I'm watching very closely, is going to be $48. So that's the level that I'm very, very interested in for Snapchat. Previous support, 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 support. So 4 times I've kind of validated that level perfectly before pushing higher. So your year-end target for Facebook, I don't have a year-end target for Facebook. Facebook, I have a longer-term target, 2026. So I don't have a year-end target for 2021. But I do have a target 5 years out. Teradyne now up for 7% up to 123. Look at that. Next resistance at 124. We're almost hitting that target. So that right there is going to be that next resistance and the target to watch for the company, and we are almost there. Strong move for Teradyne. Definitely a strong move on earnings. Let's take a look at General Motors. So GM, so they reported earnings, yes, this morning. Let's take a quick look at what they did. All right, so reported third quarter adjusted earnings of $1.52, down from $2.83 a year earlier. Analyst pulled 98 cents, so much higher than the EPS expectations. Revenue was $26.8 billion, down from $35.5 billion, but also lower than the analyst expectations at $27.9 billion for the company. And the automaker raised its guidance for 2021 adjusted EPS between $5.70 to $6.70 from the previous range of $5.40 $6.40. Analyst poll expected $6.33, so kind of like in line with the analyst expectations. And right now the stock is down 4%. So support level to watch for GM is going to be sitting roughly at 53.45. So this right here is going to be that level to watch for the company right now. Let's take a look at the markets and how are they doing. So Nasdaq is up over 0.5%, S&P is up over 14, and the Dow Jones is pretty much flat on the day so far. But GM 54.45. This right here is going to be that near-term support, all the way as low as $49 for the company. Overall, we've just seen a lot of consolidation for General Motors, right? This has just been a back and forth movement between support at 49, resistance at 64. We've just been trading sideways at the moment. All right, let's see. Now Tesla got up to that 1,062. But Enphase just keeps charging higher. All right, let's take a look at Palantir. Palantir we haven't checked out yet. So Palantir still 25.78. This right here is going to be that resistance. Right now we're just struggling to break out above that level. Just a really tight range, $24.85, $25 support, $25.75 is going to be a resistance level to keep in mind for Palantir right now. All right, so Megan, what's your position on pins? I've already mentioned that I still hold small position in this company. We did trim some profits, when it did spike after the PayPal acquisition rumor. But right now, let's take a look. Where's that next support going to be? Right now, we're seeing a bit of a breakdown here. The next support level is going to be sitting inside this green rectangle. We do have some downside pressure, anywhere between $32 and $37. And at that point, I would be buying more shares. In fact, I should be buying more shares right now. As soon as I get off this live stream, I will be sending out some alerts for Visa. Of course, Visa's on a breakdown, for Pinterest, and then for a couple other stocks that are seeing some downside here. I don't know if Facebook is still down, but so coming down $304, $305, kind of like aligned with that 200 300 simple moving average is going to be that next level to watch. So Google, yes, Google, nice move to the upside, up over 2%. PayPal is still coming down to 240. Southwest is down. Netflix pulling back to 26 basis points. We got Take-Two Interactive is pretty much flat. Apple just struggling at 150. Let's see which sectors are doing well. Let's just pull up our select sector indices chart. And then we'll also talk about some relative performance. I feel like we haven't done that in a while. All right, so we got XLY, that's discretionary, that includes your Tesla and Amazon. So that's up over 36 basis points. Then we followed by utilities. So utilities is up over 13 basis points. And we got communication services. So Google is part of that, communication services. And then we got technology slightly down 8 basis points. The yields are down the most. It's very, very interesting. Where are the yields? So there we go. We got the 10-year yields right there, down over 3%, coming down to 1.56. But energy sector is down because oil apparently is pulling back after hitting some resistance level here. So oil just down about 80 basis points, and for both Brent and crude. So let's take a look at Google. Wow, 2.5% here, move to the upside. What a move for Google. 28.58, and this is after the strong earnings from yesterday, right? Microsoft, Google, is Microsoft up too? So there we go. Microsoft is also up over 2.8%. So both Google and Microsoft seeing nice rallies here today. Microsoft, of course, hitting a new all-time high, but Google, let's just quickly break down what they announced. So, all right, Q3 revenues, earnings came in at just shy of $20 per share, up from $16 same time last year. Analyst forecasted $23.32, so strong beat there. And revenue also $65 billion, up from $46 billion. The consensus estimate was $63 billion. So just, absolutely beast of a stock that just continues to go higher. Vertex down about 1%, so getting rejected at 185, 186 yet again. So that 50 EMA, this is very clear, right? This is very clear that we're seeing a rejection here and coming back down. So 175, 176 is going to be that next support level to watch for Vertex Pharmaceutical. All right, so let's see, Chewy, just quickly break that down. So it's up over 1.4%. $64 is going to be that next support level. Resistance I'm watching at 76 bucks. This company remains a little bit rich in terms of the valuation at 28 billion market cap. And the price to earnings is really, really high for the stock. So AMD is still getting rejected at 128, 127. So this right here, resistance and target, starting to pull back now. All right, guys, so I'm probably going to end it there. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate you guys' support. Make sure that you drop a like and subscribe if you're new here. We talk a lot about fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and of course macroeconomic analysis as well. The macro piece has been kind of quiet because we haven't had a lot of reports. This has mostly been earnings for the companies, but it's gonna start picking up again as the new month kind of rolls around. November, first Friday of the month, which is gonna be very soon here. So first Friday of the month, let's see, that's gonna be probably November whatever that is gonna be. I think it's like November 5th. So that's going to be the employment report, but we also got inflation and we got the FOMC meeting as well during the middle of November. So that's going to be Jerome Powell possibly announcing some tapering very, very soon. So we're going to see how the yields, the 10-year yields react to that, and of course the interest rate liftoff in the middle of 2022 as well. So all that's going to be included, and we're going to pick up with our macroeconomics calendar as the earnings season kind of winds down, but we do have still a lot of companies to go over. But thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your guys' support. Make sure that you drop a like, check out all the links down in the description below for our Patreon and our Discord and get those real-time alerts as well. And I will see you guys in the next live stream.